Right, this is a walk around video, and this is for a Honda Civic 1.6 diesel, and it's the sport model. You can see here it's the facelift version, finished in this really gorgeous, I think they call it sporty blue metallic. It's slightly naff, but there we go, but the colour looks absolutely fantastic on the car. This car's covered 87,000 miles. It's been very well looked after all the way through by Honda from memory. But the front of the car there, lights, lens is completely clear, there's no cracks, condensation in those at all. Front of the car is very, very clean for the age and mileage. There is, and there are, some stone chips on the bonnet. They're nothing out of the ordinary, and they certainly don't detract from the car in any way. But generally it's very, very nice. Coming down the near side of the vehicle first, very, very clean in the panel work. Really very nice indeed. Front wing is unblemished. Front near side alloy, really good indeed. No marks or skags on there at all. And then the remaining panel work is absolutely beautiful down this side. Really, really is. The black alloys and the blue just look fantastic together. It's a really lovely combination Honda got on this. Rear near side alloy, again, completely unmarked. And then around the back of the car, and I love this view of these later Civics, the smoked glass, black rear diffuser low down. Again, just a really nice combination. They've done so well on it. Parking sensors on this vehicle as well, as part of the later spec. And then around the back of the car, again in absolutely fantastic condition. And it looks like a car that's done half its miles, in all honesty, it really does. And offside of the vehicle, as with the near side, very, very, very clean in the panels. Offside rear alloy, completely unmarked. And the remainder of the panel work is absolutely beautiful. As I said, it's not to say there won't be any marks, certainly that the camera hasn't picked up on. And we are looking at a car with this kind of mileage, but there's nothing that sort of stands out or jumps out to me at all. And then the remaining alloy on the front, on the other side there, absolutely as clean as a whistle. So we're looking at a really handsome looking car in very, very nice condition. Coming into the boot area now, they are absolutely massive boots on these Civics. They really are very nicely finished off as well. All the carpeted area is really, really nice. If you don't already know, you've got this kind of hidden cubby hole there, but also give that a yank, drop it down, you've got another 7 or 8 inches of boot depth, which again, very clever design. Coming to the back of the car now, I've got the seats in their raised positions, which forms part of this magic seat affair, which Honda does brilliantly well. So clever. Full set of mats inside the car as well, by the way. Drop them down, it's obviously beautifully engineered as you expect from Honda. Pull the lever up and just put it down like that. Let's quickly show you inside. The rear seats look in pretty much as new condition as well. So it's just about to start pouring down with the rain, so we can do this quite quickly. Trying to dodge the showers here today. The front door card on the passenger side, absolutely as clean as a whistle, as are the footwell areas as well. Front passenger seat there, again given absolutely hardly any use at all, and looks in fantastic condition. Driver's door card, as with all the others, been kept really, really nicely. These are fabulously well made cars, they take the miles extraordinarily well. Again, footwell area and driver's seat, really, really great condition. So inside the car now, engine's running through this section so you can see the dashboard illuminated. The dashboard itself is in absolutely fantastic condition again. Sat-nav model, which is an option on these vehicles, and if you pop into reverse there, you can see you've got rear parking camera, which complements the rear parking sensors as well. But really, really is in fantastic condition in here. I can just try and pan in there for you without scagging the wire. Hopefully you can see there, 87,329 miles. The only warning light showing is the low fuel light currently on the car. If I come back to here, this is exactly the position you want to be sat in the car. The steering wheel rim is slap bang between the speedo and the rev counter, and it's a wonderful view of an absolutely brilliant dashboard. But as I said, the video in all honesty just doesn't do the interior of this car justice. It's finally just come into the engine bay, which, as you'd expect from Honda, has been beautifully presented. fantastic engines, unbelievably tough and reliable. More of which in the following road test video. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Honda Civic, and it's the 1.6 diesel sport. This is the Navigator model, so it's obviously got the optional sat-nav and rear parking camera. This particular car is registered RJ15VUD. Mileage at the start of the road test is 87,321 miles. Reason for doing the road tests, as I say in all the videos, is very simple. We just want customers who are looking at the adverts of our cars to actually see the very car in the advert in operation. That way we can relay back any issues there might be with the vehicle, because it is a critical video, so if there's something not right, you do get to know about it. We're very aware that lots of our customers come from all over the UK and mainland Europe, so the least we can do is put the effort into doing a video to show you the car in operation. It's also done on the very quiet country roads very close to our premises, so we'd hope it would be representative of any test drive you might have if offered on the car. Obviously, a brief background to this particular vehicle: it's been fully serviced by Honda throughout its life, and it's obvious. It drives absolutely wonderfully well. I mean, they're brilliant cars to drive anyway. Engine starts absolutely immediately, of course, settles to completely smooth, even idle. It feels and sounds and pulls exactly as it did when it was new. They're an incredible engine. They're so strong. But it's also a lovely engine to use. It's smooth, it's quiet, it pulls well, it pulls throughout the entire rev range. It doesn't just have a tiny window of power, which so many diesel engines seem to have. It's a very, very flexible unit. There's no warning lights on the dashboard apart from low fuel relating to the engine or any other part of the car. Yeah, the engine's absolutely fantastic. Engine then feeds through clutch and into gearbox. Clutch on the car is smooth, silent in operation. Bite point is exactly where it should be on the car as well. So all in very, very fine order there. Clutch then feeds through into the Honda 6-speed automatic 6-speed manual gearbox, which is another one of their brilliant gearboxes. I often go on about them. It's not only the fact that they're very tough, very reliable. We've never touched one of these manual gearboxes ever, even with really, really high mileages. And this one is a perfect example of what Honda do so well, because most front-wheel drive cars now, they don't have linkage as such, or rods taking the from here to the gearbox. It's a cable. Unfortunately, on some cars and some manufacturers who are a little bit lazy, that means you end up with a kind of a lifeless gear change, a little bit vague, a bit sloppy, easy enough to use, but you derive no pleasure from using them. Honda know that this is one of the main controls of the car, and if you get it wrong, then you can ruin the feel of a car. And this gear change is superb. It feels mechanical. It's got mechanical weight to it. It's got precision. Just brilliantly done, and I can't feel any wear in it at all. All the gears engage absolutely perfectly. Synchromesh is world class. It's again a fantastic example of a brilliant gearbox. So powertrain the vehicle all in absolutely perfect order. Steering of the car is a real strong point on these Civics. It's beautifully judged. It's well weighted. It's very accurate, really accurate. It's confidence inspiring, and that's not always the case. Sometimes you get in cars like this that they can feel nice and direct when you're just tootling along, but as soon as you press onto them, they can just feel a bit nervous or a bit slack or lifeless. These have got a real precision at all speeds. It's a very well done system. Also tracks absolutely bullet straight. There's no vibrations coming back through the steering wheel at all on the vehicle at this or any speed up to the legal limit on the car.
I can't feel any wear in it either. It just feels absolutely, totally, nutty precise. There's nothing vague about it or loose at all. And it's brilliantly matched to the chassis, of which, you know, the chassis is, you know, it's just brilliant. It's just they've done such a good job on it. The previous incarnation of this Civic was always praised for having such a wonderfully agile, athletic chassis, quick to change direction, very sporty, and this has got all of that DNA in it still. But what it's got is a far more compliant ride than the previous one, especially over the sharper ridges, where the old suspension and certainly where it's mounted would allow us to a bit of shudder to feed back in. This one, like there, you'll feel it going over the bumps, but you don't have that harshness to it. It's very, very well done. And what I'm looking for on road tests, and as anyone should, is obviously just for any noises coming from underneath the vehicle. And they're normally quite innocent things which are cheap, and that's things like little drop links on the suspension, little anti-roll bar links. But this is absolutely fine. There's no noises coming from underneath the vehicle at all working exactly as it should. Just checking the cruise control function, that's working perfectly as well. Just going to give the brakes a bit of a jab when I get to there's a junction coming up which is quite tight, so I'm going to give the brakes a nice hard shove when we get into it. Yeah, they're really good. It's a positive brake pedal. It pulls the car down straight and true. It doesn't pull left, right or otherwise, and there's no sort of judders or pulsing coming through the brake pedal at all. So all in very, very good order there. Looking around inside the car, I mean, it's what the videos can't get across, unfortunately, is just how well built a car is, of course. You know, there's not a hint of a squeak or rattle from the interior of the car. It's a lovely place to sit. Nice high quality materials used inside in the majority of the plastics. But what it's got is a driving environment directly in front of me, which I think is unmatched in its class. It's just genius. You've got this two-tier dashboard, which has all the main information high up. So you've got information display up there. You've got the speedo, which is brilliantly placed, digital speedo, and that means you can just look ahead on the road whilst also keep an eye on your speed at the corner of your eye without taking your eyes off the road for, you know, even a split second. It's just a very, 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 very nice dashboard. Down the centre, more conventional, of course. Big sat-nav system, dead easy to use, works wonderfully. Then you've got the air conditioning system, which pumps out absolutely ice cold air. And it's a dual zone system, so you can have different temperatures side to side. And then down on the lower part of the dashboard directly in front, you've got these three pods with your rev counter, fuel gauge and temperature gauge. Temperature gauge, by the way, now the car's been running for some time, is running at a third on the temperature gauge, which is exactly where it should be on a Honda car, whether it be a petrol or diesel. But it's just such a unique place to sit, and you know, I'm fully aware that, you know, it's a kind of a love it or hate it interior. Obviously I love it. I've had them, I've used these cars many times, and it just works wonderfully well for me. And I actually quite like the fact that it's polarizing in its people's opinion on the dashboard. Most good design, I feel, does. You know, the majority of cars in this class tend to be, you know, the same kind of thing. You've got, you know, your fascia dashboard, it's a binnacle here, you've got your center stack, and they're all pretty much the same things. There's just slight variations on the same theme. This couldn't be anything other than a Civic, and I think it's all the better for it. As I said, personal opinion, that's how I feel. As I said at the start of the video, the point of these videos is to pick up on any issues there might be. There's nothing on this car. It drives absolutely beautifully. It's a brilliant family car. Maybe for someone who's gone the family ways, had something quite sporty before, but now needs to be more practical, but doesn't want to sort of have a car that's utterly dull in driving. This, you can get in and you really enjoy driving it. It's a wonderful vehicle. However, if I've missed anything on the video, don't hesitate. Please do give us a call. And we do prefer to be called, by the way. If you have to email, please do email, of course. Don't stop doing that. But we're an old-fashioned business. Both myself and Tony, my business partner, used to work at the Bristol Honda dealership, and we're very, very enthusiastic about Honda cars, and we love talking about them. So as I said, please do feel free to give us a call at any time with any questions about the car.